But let's go back to the paid family leave bit. Just not that you need to hear him say it.
So we're not just planning to run in blue districts as we did when I started Just Democrats. We're planning to run in purple districts and red districts. So higher wages, paid family leave.
Paid family leave. We jump over to the evidence, baldontheinside.substack.com, 2 versions, 1 truth, evidence for my claims about the Young Turks. We're going to scroll down. Are you ready? Excited? Look for the green. There it is. The first 7 months, when I went back to work for TYT in 2018, I was labeled independent contractor. I did sign it. I needed the job. I was incredibly desperate. I hoped it was maybe a temporary trial period thing, 1 or 2 months. Still would have been complete bullshit, but I would have taken it because I was replacing somebody who was classified as an employee and who got benefits. And I worked alongside other people who were employees who got benefits, half of whom I was already friends with, like I knew from previously working with TYT. Others whom I quickly became friends with because editors have a code. We didn't know each other's jobs. We were all very nice people. It was a really good group. Honestly, truly loved working with them. Look at this. Here are the benefits I was not going to get. This, what you're looking at, is why we unionized in 2019. A previous year's effort went quiet, went frozen, stalled, hung up, intimidated off. Why am I trying to think of another one? That was for working conditions I was not involved with, although it would be really awesome someday to connect with a journalist or a reporter who would like to do a story about that. Maybe those details are available. But if you haven't already noticed, does it come up? No benefits, no vacation. This is explicitly lays out all the benefits I was to be excluded from for doing the same job other people were doing who got benefits. No vacation and holiday pay, sick leave, leaves of absence, health and welfare benefits, including coverage for medical, dental, vision, accidental death and disability, long-term or short-term disability or life insurance, severance benefits, retirement benefits, including pension or thrift plan contributions and or any other benefits of any kind or nature provided to its employees. Very convenient since I was not an employee and I was also paid less per hour than every other employee. You know, if I were an independent contractor, maybe, and they said there was no negotiation. I just needed, and I needed the work desperately. I was doing deliveries. I'd done some freelance stuff, but I was so fucking tired and out of it. And I was reeling in my brain and I was struggling mentally with undiagnosed autism. I had no idea this core detail, which I still wouldn't learn for another 2 or 3 years, at least after this. I was in a dark mental space, man, my last 10 years of my life. And, it changed when I learned what autism was. I'm still in a bad space right now, but what a difference. If you've only other like late diagnosed, late identified autistic people can kind of understand what it is, how profoundly life-changing it is. I'm going to cry if I keep talking about it. I want to do that to myself right now, or you. Anyway, I needed the work desperately. I needed some stability, and I'm good at video editing, and I don't live too far away, and I like the people there, and I needed the work. So I accepted this deal, except it also kept going on and on and on, and it seemed like fucking bullshit, and it started to feel very quickly, actually, that they were stealing from me. When you're taking days off, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, MLK, I think, is one of them. Other people getting paid. You do the same job. They're getting paid for that day off and you don't. They get health insurance and you don't. They get bonus. You don't. I was allowed to have coffee. That was nice of them. But look at that. Leaves of absence. Holiday pay, sick leave. This means paid it doesn't say explicitly paid family leave in here, but they are making very clear that when Cenk says paid family leave, and he does this all the time. Move back up 5 seconds.
In red districts. So higher wages, paid family leave.
He doesn't mean that. He thinks he means it. He'd probably take issue with me saying he doesn't, but the paperwork doesn't lie. After about 7 months of that, and I was really stressed out, and I'm a loud, whiny little bitch, although you have to pick your battles. You can't just be all the time. This piece goes into how the state considers, testing, conditions for classifications and stuff like that. But I also did a freelance job there. You can go look at all this. I asked for help. I said, this sucks. I'm working full time for this place and I don't get any benefits. Like, this is crazy. So I was worried about the company's reputation. I didn't like being burdened with having to lie I think I say that right here and somewhere. And I was just like, my own interests. Like, I'd like to get paid for days off. I took a trip with my dad, or, went home. I could only afford for my dad to buy me a ticket back to his house. And we went fishing, and like every day I didn't get paid like I was like other people would have if I were, doing the same work. Well, they heard me, but instead of fixing it and saying, "Oh shoot, we didn't mean for this to go on this long," they changed my classification to part-time. Now I'm called part-time, and here's the email I sent asking if I could get paid. I'm called part-frickin' time while I'm working 40-hour weeks. This is when the unionizing took on a particular intensity, when other people didn't like it either. I was pissed. It was very frustrating. I felt singled out. I didn't think I deserved to be treated with this disrespect. You have to think of the kind of person Cenk Uygur is, to have someone working full-time hours while they're called part-time on paper so that you can keep their benefits. And sourcing from, so this is my request for help. By this email here, by the way, just since we're in it, I do this like every episode has a shit, so sorry for being repetitive if you're... This one is upon my third hiring date, 3 different job classifications for the same job. It's not like I was being moved around to a whole different role. It was the same work. I asked, can I get paid for all these days off? It's really unfair. And their answer was no. No, we're only going to count from this day forward. And I did get benefits for like the last 2 months. But at this point, I was deep in the union organizing. I didn't tell them about that in the email. Nor did I tell them when Cenk brought me in to fire me. So here is the proof. Let's see. Yeah, this stuff. This is my all sourced from Gusto. And sorry, let me just jump around a little bit just to find it. So TYT's threshold for part-time workers versus full-time. They're the company's own threshold. There's one of them, like a Gusto summary, that calls me part-time editor. Their own threshold is 30 hours. It's in here somewhere. God damn it. It's in here. It's like a small one. Narrow. Oh, I think I saw it. Nope, that's not it. Sorry. It was horrible show. Horrible. There it is. There it is. It was above it. TYT's part-time threshold is 30 hours. They're violating their own company policies. Right there. 30-hour weeks. When they were invited, because she's detailing what part-time editor meant. Except here's the hours. A few of these days I was just on the edge. I remember this brief period. There's one day here where I didn't work. It would technically be under 6-hour days because Francis Maxwell, I did his breakdown videos, like 3 a week, was off. So like the hours were way low that day or that week. So like 98% of the time I was full time. So there were a couple of weeks in there that I was part time, but in a few like sort of slower weeks where it was like 6 hours, 7-hour days. But when they finally labeled me formally part-time temporary, as you can see right here, 8-hour days, every single one of them, 7.86, 9.02, 8.5. I got paid overtime. I was told I wasn't supposed to get overtime because I was an independent contractor. This is back in this period. And this is why we unionized. So no benefits. All these X's are days off I should have been paid. It's crazy. This is a vacation, 6 days off. If I were a classified employee, I would have been paid for those 6 days. Thousands of dollars in the summary sheet here, just on days off alone, $3,460. So when Cenk goes on and on about paid family leave, he's just bullshitting, man. He doesn't mean it. He thinks he does, but he doesn't live it. He probably would vote for it if he were in Congress. Be weird if he suddenly was like, no, I will be independent contractor only. Like, I don't think he'd do that, but it's just mass communications to him. And I'm trying to be generous right now by saying it that way. But you can't convince me that he believes it, since I lived a whole story and had to unionize because I couldn't go see a doctor. I felt like I should have been paid for the 4th of July, for Labor Day, for all those other holidays and days off I took. So we unionized. And then he goes and says to his audience, he doesn't say it verbally yet. I would love him to tell his audience this again, because it would be more of the lie, but that outsiders manipulated us into unionizing. It's just nuts. So anyway, check out the film, tellthetruthcenk.com. Links in the description as well, of course. And if you consider wanting to help me hold a guy accountable, educate, entertain, inspire, we're going to do it together. It's been a long slog. I'm looking for $50,000 from every single person watching. I'm joking. But I am trying to raise a GoFundMe for $50K that covers about 4 years. It's not because I'm trying to make money. It's because I owe my roommate over $30,000 in rent debt, and I need to fund the rest of the year. And that's not really enough, honestly. But at least I could try to fund, because I'll have to pay taxes. But I'm trying to fund enough to bring the stress levels down so that I can finish the film and be done with this horrible baby. I have a demon baby in my womb. It's been crowning for 3 years, and I need it. And I need your help getting it out. So sharpen your forceps and let's go.